friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Madison here, or Dandelion. Today we are doing a little bit of a fun video, an idea I've had for a while. We're going to talk about all my favorite spiritual related apps. So these are apps for your phone that are either nature related, spirituality related, witchcraft, Wicca related, anything along those lines. So I'm going to be sharing with you all the apps I have on my phone that relate to my spiritual practice, what I use them for, and why I like them. And guess what? Giles is here. Hi, buddy. And disclaimer before we get further into it, none of this is sponsored. I'm just sharing with you guys apps that I get a lot out of, apps that I enjoy. So, not sponsored. And before we get into the apps, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's get into these apps. The first app that I absolutely love, it's probably the app I use the most on my phone, other than like social media and music, and that is Deluxe Moon is the name of the app. It is a app that just tells you everything that's going on with the moon. So it'll tell you the phase the moon is in, it'll tell you exactly how full it is in percentages, it'll tell you how many days into the moon cycle we are, it'll also tell you what zodiac sign the moon is in. Yeah, so I use this app to constantly keep in touch with the moon, to make sure that I always know when the moon is going to be doing certain things so I can plan my rituals and plan anything that I've got going on in my life to sync up with what's going on with the moon and what phase the moon is in and what zodiac sign the moon is in. So I absolutely love this app. I feel like it's an essential. Anytime I can't quite remember how many days into the moon's cycle we are, I open this app, and it helps me with planning in advance my full moon rituals, my dark moon rituals, and all those beautiful things. It'll also tell you when the moon is going to rise and set, so I love that too for planning rituals where I want the moon and the sun to be risen, or where I just want the moon or just want the sun or anything like that. So this is a really useful app. I really recommend it. The second most used spiritual app on my phone is Sky Guide. I love this app. This app basically just lets you track everything in the sky. So you can use this app to look at constellations, look at the stars, look at the planets. It'll tell you rockets that are in the sky. It'll tell you anything that is in the sky above you. And my favorite feature of this app is if you hit the little compass icon in the upper right, it orients to where you are on the earth and how you're facing. So you can move the phone around. So you can kind of move your phone around and look up at the sky. Say you see a star over there and you want to know what it is, you can hold your phone up and it'll tell you exactly what it is. And you can even click things in this app and it'll give you more information about that specific star, that specific constellation, that specific planet. It's so amazing for people like me who are obsessed with the sky and space and everything having to do with space and the celestial, all of it. For those of us that are obsessed with space, this is an amazing app. If you like to stargaze, if you like anything having to do with the night sky, this app, you need it. This next app is called Shamanic Journey Drumming. This app is exactly what it sounds like. It is just an app that has a bunch of different pre-recorded instruments like rattles and drums that you can play while you are journeying or whatever type of ritual or practice that you do. So I use this mostly when I travel and I don't have my drum, I don't have my rattle, and I need those sounds to drop into that ritual space and journey to the lower or upper worlds, because I am a shaman. So this app is really great if you're someone who practices journeying, but you don't have your own drum or you don't have your own rattle, then you can use this app to supplement that instrument that you don't have. It's really great because the instruments it has are really bass level, good sounding instruments. And like I said, it's really useful for if you're traveling and you don't have your instrument with you. And if you don't know what journeying is and you're like, what the hell is she talking about? Then check out in the Dropbox my videos on journeying. The next app I want to talk about is called Insight Timer. Now this app has a few features all centering around being a timer, but I got this app to be able to time my meditations. For a long time, I was using the normal timer app on my phone for meditations, but I absolutely hate all the alarm sounds for when the timer goes off. I find them all really jarring and way too loud and way too aggressive. Like they would literally make me jump. And also, I kind of also have some trauma centered around the sounds that phones make, because for a very long time I was getting like multiple days of the week I would get bad news through my phone, either through text messages or through phone calls. So I don't like my phone to make any sounds at all, because all the sounds on the phone, all the ringtones, all the sounds available make me feel on edge, make me feel threatened. They literally activate my nervous system. So another problem I was having with my meditations is I didn't like how I would have to set the timer and then I would have to quickly get ready and I felt like I had to set the timer and immediately meditate, or I would have to set my timer with an extra minute so that I could set the timer and then get settled and then start meditating and not lose any time on my timer for the meditation. And then I found this app, Insight Timer, and it's so great because with this timer on this app, you can set the duration of your meditation, and then you get to pick a sound for starting and closing the meditation. And all the sounds are so gentle and lovely and perfectly in the zone of spirituality. So they have a bunch of different singing bowl sounds. They also have wood block sounds and gong sounds. So you get to pick which sound you like the best. And you can even have interval bells that tell you how far into something you are, which I've never used this for a journey because I usually just let myself go through the journey and it usually takes care of itself. I've never had a problem with that. But it would be cool as an idea, especially if I were teaching a class and using this app, to have the bell go off at a certain interval to tell people, okay, it's time to start coming back to your body. So it's really cool. You can use interval bells also if that's something that you need in your ritual or your prayer or your meditation or whatever it is you do. It can be a great way to kind of be like, okay, I'm 5 minutes in, or okay, I'm halfway through, or okay, I've only got 5 minutes left. So that's a really cool feature of this app. And then another thing that I really love about this app is when you start your meditation, it adds a minute or two to when you start. So say you want to meditate for 10 minutes, you can set it to 10 minutes. And then at the bottom, it has a warm-up time. So that means that when you hit start, it won't go right into your 10 minutes of meditation. It'll first count down that warm-up time before it plays whatever sound you chose and gets into the 10 minutes of meditation. So it gives you a couple minutes to kind of get settled, get yourself centered, and then start meditating. So I absolutely love that. And you get to pick how long your warm-up time is. So I usually like a 2-minute warm-up time because usually I'll set the timer, put my phone down, crack my back, crack my neck, anything I need to crack, and then take a sip of water, get myself settled in the seat, and then start to meditate. And usually by the time I've done all those things, it's been about a minute, minute and a half. So 2 minutes is perfect for me. But I absolutely love that they have a warm-up time on this app. You can also have presets in the app, so that's really convenient for if you have certain types of meditations you do, different lengths, you can just quickly click them and you don't have to change the timers every time. Another thing I like about this app is when you meditate each day, it'll have you do a little check-in. So it'll ask you how you're feeling, it'll ask you why you're feeling that way, what areas of your life are making you feel that way, and it'll usually give you a little bit of an inspirational message too. So I like that it also kind of prompts you to do a check-in before you meditate, and then you get to meditate and see how you feel after. The next app that I absolutely love, and again, this is not sponsored, is the Chani app. So I actually subscribe to all of Chani's services. I think it's the best astrology site, astrology program, I don't know what we would want to call it, that exists. I love being able to open up the app and see my messages for the day, for the week, for the month. It'll tell you all about the phases that each planet is in, tell you transits that are affecting you and how they're affecting you. So it's just a really useful chart for astrology and keeping up with your specific astrology and moving through your life in harmony with that astrology. And I also really love this app because if you're someone like me who doesn't really know much of anything about astrology, I know the basics, then this app is really great because she dumbs it down, because it's just completely basic and it helps anybody to understand what they're saying about astrology. Because a lot of the time with so many words in astrology, I'm like, what are they talking about? But this app is easy to understand, easy to follow. The next app I have is called Better Sleep. And this is kind of a spirituality app, kind of not, but it's sleep centered and I do a lot of sleep work, spiritual sleep work, so I'm counting it as a spiritual app. But this is just a sounds app for sleep. So relaxing sounds to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and enjoy your night's sleep. Also to create a vibe in the space. So, I've used this app to fall asleep. I mostly use like the rain sounds, or I love falling asleep to the sounds of a thunderstorm, or even I love to fall asleep to the sounds of a campfire. So I use those sounds a lot to fall asleep, especially when I'm away from my home, because I don't like to sleep in complete silence. So I don't use it too much at home, but when I travel, I use it a lot. And then also I've actually used it a few times for ritual, if I'm trying to do weather magic. So I've done rain spells and played rain sounds with this app. I've also played the thunder and lightning and done a ritual for Zeus. So you can get creative with this app and use the sounds in your ritual to represent deity, represent spirit, or heighten the energy of a space. Hi, Giles. The next app is called Seek. Oh my god, I love this app. So I got this app originally because I was looking for an app that can help me identify things that I see in nature. So I was thinking that I would probably need a bunch of different apps for identifying, I want to be able to identify birds, I want to be able to identify plants, I want to be able to identify anything that I see, herbs, trees, anything at all that I could come across. So I found this app Seek, and actually you can identify with this app all of those things. You can take a picture of a tree that you see, a bush, some herbs that you find, a flower you find. You can even identify animals like birds and lizards, and any animal that you see, this app can help you identify them. And I've had a lot of success with this app. It's correctly identified a lot of things. So it's a really good app, and I really like it for, especially if I'm in nature and I'm not sure what a certain plant is. I really like to use it for that. And I also love to use it for identifying birds, because if you know my channel, I'm obsessed with birds. I've got quite the feather collection, and every time I see a bird that I'm not quite sure what it is, I get really excited and I have to identify it. So this app has helped a lot with identifying birds in my area and just identifying the nature around me. It's really great also if you're like me and you are trying to learn more about plants and plant medicine and herbs, then it really helps newbies like myself get into identifying plants in the wild. Another app that I really love is called Budify. Now this is an app that has a bunch of different guided meditations, and I haven't explored certain categories within this app because it has quite a few categories, but my favorite one is the going to sleep category. There's this one meditation called Fade that has become my favorite thing. I do it all the time, even without the app. I know it. I know the guided meditation so well from listening to it so often that I can just hear it in my head and guide myself through it when I go to sleep sometimes. So I love this app. If you're looking for some guided meditations, they have a bunch of different categories, about dealing with emotions, waking up in the morning. They have even guided meditations you can do with a friend, guided meditations for taking a work break. So they have a lot of really great things on here. So if you're looking for a guided meditation app with a bunch of different types of guided meditations, then this app is for you. And definitely check out the Fade guided meditation under the Going to Sleep tab. And the final app I want to share with you all is called Rock Identifier. This is an app that I got recently. My sister actually told me about it, and I was like, how did I not know about this sooner? This app is amazing. It's my new obsession. I've been identifying all my crystals with it and cataloging them because I know what most of my crystals are, but some crystals, you get as a gift from people, or you buy a few little tiny ones sometime and then you forget what they are and you can't remember. So I've been identifying all my crystals with it, but it's a really great app where you can basically just take a picture of a rock, of a crystal, and it'll identify it for you. And it's pretty spot on. I haven't really had any fails with this app. And it's great also because not only will it identify the rock, identify the crystal, it'll also tell you properties of that crystal. It'll tell you all kinds of information about that rock. So if you're obsessed with rocks and crystals, then this is the app for you. It even has a lot of educational features on it that I really enjoy, that I think are really cool and important, like how to tell the difference between a fake crystal and a real crystal and things like that. So those are all the apps that I want to share with you guys, all my favorite spiritual, nature, Wicca, witchcraft, magical kind of apps. I hope that you download some of them and you enjoy them. Don't forget that if you liked this video to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And remember, you can become a member of my channel by hitting the join button below this video. That gives you access to members only perks, like early access to my videos and voting in members only polls that decide what video I make next. Our last poll in the community tab here for members only, it was a tie. The choice of which video we make, we were voting on which deity I should spotlight next, and it was a tie. So those are coming. I'm gonna do both of them since it tied, but that just shows we need more members voting in these polls because we had a tie. So if you want to be able to vote on what video I'm making next, the next poll is going up soon. So hit that join button so you can vote in that poll. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Blessed be.